Hi, I'm Karen Ray, and this is Fireside. Welcome to our chat. We have Brenda Reiss here with us today. Brenda is a forgiveness coach. Oh my goodness, you're going to have to tell us what a forgiveness coach is, but she has also written a book, Forgive Yourself, which is really awesome. And that is the topic today, is we are going to be talking about forgiving ourselves. Yes. What a great place to start. You have an incredible story, a path that has brought you to this place to become a forgiveness coach. Brenda, tell us a little bit about what a forgiveness coach is first, so the girls will know what we're talking about.
So what a forgiveness coach is, why I specialized in forgiveness, was because of the different things that happened in my life, the different traumas, the different things that I went through. Okay. And I didn't really realize I needed forgiveness. But when this forgiveness coaching process was presented to me, right away I went, that's it. I need this because I need to not only forgive others, but I really needed to forgive myself.
Right. And I think you talked about, when we had chatted earlier too, about taking ourselves from being a victim to being a victor and being free. And that's what forgiveness is, what your process and what you do is all about. But we decided to talk about forgiving ourselves. Yes. What a great place to start.
Yes, because as women, as we talked about, as women, we don't forgive ourselves very easily. Yeah. We carry a lot of guilt, we can carry grudges, and we also get stuck, right? As we go through life, which was a great conversation, as we go through life, we're like, what next? Yeah. What is next? And we don't realize that a lot of the beliefs and patterns in our life are running our lives unconsciously. And when we can identify those, then that changes everything.
Yes. So we're going to be let's talk a little bit about your story, and then let's talk about becoming aware of those things of forgiving ourselves. And then we'll finish up with talking about some of the processes that you have formulated so we can walk through this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So your story is quite interesting. You've been through a lot.
Yes. So, my story includes abuse. It includes the emotional, mental, physical, sexual abuse. It includes addiction. I was addicted to alcohol for a long time. I'm 15 years sober. And, went through the eating disorders and went through 3 divorces, and I'm an expert now. And, along with just really the self-talk of just tearing myself down. And so through that life, I lived it as life was happening to me, not for me. I was living my life as a victim. And because it was like I couldn't get a grasp on it, what was happening. And then as I started to get older, I started to go, wait a second, there's a pattern here. I kept picking the wrong guys, and it was their problem, right? Yeah, I was thinking it was their problem until I realized, what's the common denominator, which was me. Right?
Yes.
And then it's like, oh, wait a second. I started to connect the dots. And as I started to connect the dots, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, do people know this? Do people know that underneath this, it goes back to my story of my dad leaving when I was 5. And me saying at that time, when he moved to another family with a daughter just like me, and he was paying attention to her and not me, I formulated a belief that every man that I love is going to choose another woman over me. Oh, I didn't know it.
But so was that some of the self-talk that you were telling yourself, which became a belief?
Absolutely. Okay. And that ran the show when I looked back at my life. It showed up everywhere.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's fascinating at what happens.
So you became aware of this, and so then what did you do with that?
So what I did was that, and that's where the forgiveness work came in, because I had tried different forms of therapy like we all do, and different modalities and different things to try to heal that. And I just really embarked on my own self journey. And that's when the forgiveness work was presented to me. And it was through the forgiveness work, through the 5 steps of that I was able to get to that belief and be able to release it so that I can embody, and then I can move forward and do what I wanted to do, be who I wanted to be, and be in a great relationship like I'm in today.
Oh, that's great. What are some of the things that women need to forgive themselves of? What was it for you?
Well, for me, it was not being good enough, right? Which we hear a lot of.
Yes, we do.
But it's important. It's very important because it can manifest differently for each of us. And for me, it was in relationships, not being good enough, very codependent. Even love addicted, which is codependence on steroids. Giving my whole life up for these men, right? Yeah. And not claiming myself. And the other one, which we touched on too, was when it came to weight. when it came to my weight is as I am going through a different change in life, I have gained some weight, and realizing as I did that there was a belief that came up for me that I have to be thin to be loved.
Oh, that is so interesting. I hear that. Yes, that's amazing. Yes, I hear that a lot in conversations of women, and you hear it in society too.
You do, and we beat ourselves up all the time for that, and that's a big one, right? Because food, we need that, but we also do not like our bodies. We're constantly, because of society, because of the things out there in the world that tell us we need to look like those glamour magazines.
Yes,
but we're not. That's a small percentage of the world, really, and we are okay. We're whole just the way we are.
Yeah. And to take you through some processes to build something around it so we can walk through that, I think is really interesting about what you do, and to come to that forgiveness.
Yes. Yeah. So there's 5 steps that I take people through. And what we do, and there's different exercises that goes along with it, but what we do is we become aware, like I did. We become aware of what's showing up in my life, and we see that by what's going on outside of us. Like what's being said to us, what are we saying to ourselves? We see what parts of us we're denying and we're rejecting. Right? Then we get to take responsibility for those parts of us, for that part in our life.
Yeah. Okay. So is that hard to take responsibility?
Of course it is. Of course it is.
It's easier to blame somebody else.
It sure is. Oh my gosh, you're not kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, just creating that, and then to be able to release that, is what I help women do. And that's really powerful. And we do that through different exercises with tangible worksheets and with tangible things so that it's not just a concept, it's an actual process. And then to be able to embody, like we talked about, embody and go forward into the action steps and create that life that we really want to have.
Wonderful. So 5 steps, and to make this a process versus that, like you said, just this word out there is forgiveness. So I love what you're doing, helping women and men to walk through this and to create a new freedom for themselves and to let go.
Yes, and to let go and to embody and move forward, because that's what's really important. Is it's not so much about the past, right? It is about the present and moving forward, and that's what we really want to have, and we want some peace in our heart, and that's what this gives us.
Absolutely. So any one last thing that you want to leave with our audience here?
Well, I think that just knowing that we're whole, knowing that we can forgive ourselves, and that what I like to do is I like to help people connect to the pureness of their heart, so that they can live the life that they're here to live. And we do that through self-forgiveness.
Absolutely. So how can somebody find you?
So my website is a great place to go, BrendaReissCoaching.com, and that has all the information for me in a place where you can contact me. And you can also get the book, Forgive Yourself, which is a simple book, but it talks about how to forgive yourself, forgive others, and live a forgiving life.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for joining us. It's been wonderful chatting today. And girls, join us next time for Fireside Chats.